Hello, lovely people. Ah, where's my car? Oh, yeah, it's dead. So, in this video, there's gonna be no car audio. Basically, no car audio. We're gonna talk a little bit about it. But mainly, we're gonna talk about cars. So, there we go. Yeah, it's dead, literally. So if you know, I had some problems with it. I had an issue with this car losing coolant a little bit, and that coolant loss became greater and greater and greater. And now you can see coolant bottles. So it was losing coolant, and one day it lost all of it. And then I refilled it, and it lost it again. I refilled it, it lost it again. And eventually, 2 days ago, when I came back from work, it started juttering and I had plumes of smoke coming from the back. So basically, head gasket is gone. And at this point, it's not worth replacing it. Just because, like, this car, it's not really worth doing anything with it because it is in a very, very bad shape. Like you saw, all of this, all the scratches, like I have this as well, a little accident. The paint job is really, really horrible, and I have many holes. So if I'm gonna fix it and trying to sell it, nobody's gonna buy it because there's a hole, the kicks is a hole, and it's like, yeah, there's stuff missing. Literally, this would be bare metal, so it's not worth fixing it. It's not worth selling it. So I'm gonna scrap it because that's what happens with a 15-year-old car that has 160,000 miles on it. There we go. 163772. So it's not worth there we go. Coolant low. Yeah. No wonder. So it is a bit of a shame because I put a lot of time and work in it. However, it's gonna be cool to start a new project. So now what I have to do with this car is I literally have to pull everything out. The head unit, the kicks, dash, tweeters, front subwoofer, the controller, and all the wires. I have so many wires. Like I have probably like 6 or 7 runs of speaker wire because I was having everything. I need to remember to take the doors out because I have the Illusion Audio C6s in the doors. I have to strip it out, and after that, maybe I'm gonna sell some parts, but I doubt anything will buy anything because, like, these Insignias, they're super cheap and there's a lot of them everywhere. So people are breaking them like crazy, and yeah, it's just not worth it. So I was expecting that. I knew that it's gonna break down eventually, and I was kind of preparing for it. So I was researching for some other models. What am I supposed to buy? What to replace it with? And I made some posts online on Facebook. If you're following me, I asked some advice like what to buy, and my list was kind of short. It was either like a Toyota, like something like a Avensis, or a Skoda. I call it Skoda because I had that SS in Lithuanian as well, or a Volvo. But yeah, so bye bye Insignia. I'm not gonna waste any time with you. Yeah, I need to remember to take the coolant from it, and let me show you what I got, and I'm gonna explain it to you why. So I was researching, I was looking for cars, and I found on Facebook Marketplace one cool guy that he's a mechanic. He buys cars, he fixes them, and he sells them, and this is his personal car. So I got it for a very good price, and it is a Skoda. So it's a Skoda Octavia, 2013. So it is 11 years old, but the condition of this car is very good. It is a bit dirty, so I will need to clean it. The only thing from the paint job that I could see, like doing just normal visual inspection, is this on the bumper. It's a plastic bumper, so it's not gonna rust, but this is literally the only thing that I can see, and I cannot see anything else. So when I saw the pictures, I thought that this is gonna be a saloon because it has a boot like this. However, it is a hatchback. So yeah, because I wanted to buy an estate in the very beginning just to have that space for everybody knows what, for an 18-inch in IB. And since I thought that it's going to be like a saloon with just a normal boot, I thought, okay, it's fine. It's going to be a compromise. I'm going to do trunk baffle and it's going to be still fine. So the guy's nice. He added 2 extra tires. These are, I think they're new or slightly used, so I will have them for replacing. This car is filthy, you can see. So I have a carpet washer. The priority now is literally just clean this carpet because it's very, very dirty. You can see this. I need to spend probably half a day just cleaning it. But this car, as I mentioned, 2013, it has 93,000 miles on it. So not even 100,000. It is a Euro 6, so it has a start-stop system. The owner, the mechanic itself, he said he did the timing belt, he replaced the clutch. Like, it's basically everything that you want to do with a car. So everything is done, and it's just sit in it and drive, and probably for like 20-30,000 miles there's going to be absolutely no problems, I hope, because I wanted something very reliable. You can see it's very, very dirty. Yeah, I'm gonna clean it today. I'm gonna show you how it looks like. So you can see air fresheners, because I think he was a smoker, I'm not sure, but I don't have any air fresheners in my car ever. I don't like them. And yeah, this is gonna be my new project. Skoda Octavia, a hatchback, and it has a lot of space. So let's talk very quickly about this actual car, because I did drove it, not much, but it's very different from Insignia. So Insignia, for some reason, I don't know why, it feels more cozy, and maybe because it has a bit less space, this one feels a bit more open. Like here, I have a massive gap. I have loads of space. This is loads of space. I don't have the armrest. So this is one thing that is a bummer, because I'm so used to having an armrest and just resting my arm on the subwoofer box. As well, Insignia has an electric brake. This has just a normal manual brake. Something to get used to. Another thing that I noticed while driving it is that Insignia is... obviously, it has a bit more powerful motors, like 2-liter diesel that does like 160 horse. This is 1.6 diesel that does, I think, like 100 or 110. So it's not as powerful. But the main difference in driving these, like Insignia is super responsive. Like you push the throttle and it just jumps like a horse. This one is a bit more mellow, a bit more gentle. Clutch is exactly the same. With Insignia, you can feel everything engine-wise, how it performs. However, on the potholes and like on the road, this one, you can feel every single pothole in it, and it's very harsh. So the suspension is not as soft as the Insignia. Insignia was just like a boat floating through everything. You cannot feel anything apart from some rattles that I had. But this is a much, much quieter car. Like the engine itself is super quiet. I'm used to the Insignia, which was like a tractor. And I always said that Insignia engine is very old and it's very, very loud. This one, you can barely hear it, and especially on the stops when you have the start-stop system, when it just stops and just shuts down. First time, I didn't realize that it was a start-stop, so I was driving it and it just shut off, and I was like, what the hell happened? I didn't realize that, so it was a pleasant surprise. But yeah, I will need to get used to it because it's a totally different experience. Now, let's talk very briefly about the plans for this car. So obviously, I need to clean it. Deep clean with a carpet wash, all the seats and everything. Then next week I'm going to take it to my mechanic to replace all the liquids and everything, and just to double check and make sure that everything is fine. And for the long run, what I like about this car is the dash. So probably like Insignia was for me like an experiment. I did everything that I could with it, everything that I wanted, just to find everything that works and stuff that doesn't work. So we know already that dash is one of the most optimal locations for the mid-range drivers. And in the Insignia, if you remember, the dash was like very interesting and very difficult to mount stuff and look pretty. This is totally flat. Like see, this area is totally flat, so you can literally just make a nice hole and plop in a speaker, and you don't need literally anything because it's gonna look very nice. Pillars are very thin. It looks like thin, but for a small tweeter there, it's perfect. So from factory, it has a two-way. So obviously in the doors, 6.5 in the doors, and this is the tweeter, factory tweeter. And like, to be honest, I listened to it. It doesn't sound bad. Like, it does image, surprisingly. Some frequencies don't sound as good, but it's factory system, so it is what it is. I think it has a center speaker, I'm not sure. There is this. I will need to investigate this further. But yeah, flat panels, a lot of angles, and this is great because, like, with my fabrication skills, I cannot really do all the intricate shapes and everything because I'm not experienced at all. But when you have flat panels and sharp corners, it's much easier to fabricate anything. Even these pillars, you can see, it's like sharp corner, sharp corner, sharp corner, instead of like all rounded and everything. So for my fabrication skills, that's gonna be perfect. This is gonna go. We're gonna put a different head unit. I saw these fascias on eBay. You can find like 20-30 quid. So that's perfect. I'm not sure how much space we have here, but if this is empty, I'm gonna have a look. If this is empty, there's nothing in there. There's potential for a front subwoofer rather than in a footwell. You can do it here. In my video that is titled All You Need to Know About Infinite Baffle, one of the guys in the UK, he's a professional installer, and he did I think it's a Golf, and he did a sub right in there. So literally just chopped off everything there, and he mounted in infinite baffle through the, whatever it's called, the tunnel thingy, and it goes like down there, and it has a sub there. But you can make a potential box, because I think it's Eddie from PS Sound. He did in his Citroen a front subwoofer in there. So yeah, there's potential. These kicks, they look like they have a lot of space. Like, look, this is plenty of space. Like, if you mount it flush, I'm not sure about the electronics, if there's anything behind this trim, but this looks like it has much more space compared to my Insignia. And in the back, obviously, since it's a hatchback, it has all of this. This is so much space. I know it has a full spare wheel, so if I'm gonna take it out and I'm gonna mount my infinite baffle subwoofer like normal people do, not through the actual side how I did in Insignia, but like through there, and with the beauty palette and everything, I can fit all the amplifiers and everything, and it's gonna be maybe like this, and I wouldn't lose any space. I can put like battery there. There's so much space. Like my Insignia on this side had literally space only for the battery like this, and this is so much more space. So I'm very excited about this. The one thing that I want to do and I like to do is debadge stuff. So I'm gonna remove these badges because I really don't like any writing. Claybank Skoda, yeah, that's gonna go. So this letter, in Lithuanian, we have this letter in our alphabet, and it's a sh. So some people, like in the UK and in America, they pronounce it Skoda. We say Skoda. So this is, for me, it's a Skoda. But the condition, yeah, some scuffs, some scrapes, it's fine. But it's just dirty, so I will need to wash it. But I'm very, very happy, at least for now. So reliability-wise, this should be very reliable, so I shouldn't have any problems with it. And it's gonna be everything from zero. So from now on, if you watched any of my back to basics videos about the tuning, I think with this one I'm gonna do is back to basics with install, because this is absolutely stock. There's no premium systems, no nothing. So we're gonna start from zero, and like, for example, back to basics, how to run a cable through a firewall. Back to basics, how to deaden the door. Back to basics, how to replace a head unit, that kind of stuff. Literally everything. But before that, before we're going to do any of that, what I want to do is I want to measure the actual factory system. So probably next video or the next one is going to be that. I will be measuring the electrical signal that's coming from this built-in head unit amplifier into the speakers. So we will see if it has any factory EQ, if it has any all-pass filters. We're going to see the output power and the distortion. So we're going to see how clean is a factory head unit. Then we're going to take RTA measurements. So this is a 2, as I mentioned, with the door mid bass and tweeter there. I'm not sure about the center channel, but we're going to take the RTA. We're going to see, because there's some adjustments like treble and bass, we're going to see what those do, and just we're going to start from scratch. So it's going to be a long journey. It's going to be a lot of content for my channel. So I am happy for that. I hope you're going to be excited as I am, because now I hope I'm not going to have a headache every time I'm going to work, because with Insignia, every time I was going to work, I was scared then it's going to break down. And I did check my REC breakdown, and apparently I broke down 3 times. It had to be towed 3 times in the last half a year. So yeah, it is a bit of a shame, because if you remember 4 months ago, I did replace the clutch and the flywheel, which cost me $1,000, just over $1,000. So yeah, money not well spent. But yeah, that's life. It is what it is. So we can give this little car a nice goodbye. You can say goodbye in the comments. And that's it for now. I'm gonna go clean the new Skoda. So I finished the video yesterday. However, I did all the cleaning. You can see all of this mess because of the water. So yesterday I spent like 3-4 hours just literally cleaning it, washing it and everything. The only thing that I didn't do is I didn't wash the seats yet. But see, Everything is clean. So now this car is nice. It's like, yes. It looks like, I don't know, like it is 10-year-old, but to me, it looks like a brand new car. Just because there's no scratches like inside, there's nothing. So the few things that are worn out, so the steering wheel is a little bit worn out. This one is very worn out. I will need to replace this one. I already ordered it online, so when it's gonna come, I'm gonna replace this one. The carpets are fine. The seats, yes, the seats need washing, and there is a few places where they are ripped, so maybe some covers or something. But like the whole panels and everything, it's like brand new. So I really, really like this. And the other thing that I found is on that side, the carpet here is very worn. I don't know why. Maybe with heels. Maybe there was a dog scratching or something. But other than that, it's just the seats that are dirty, so I will need to wash them. Inside, I have plenty of space. Now you can see everything is fine. By the way, if anybody knows how these things are called, because I had the same thing for the Insignias for this. So for the Insignia, they were missing as well. For this one is missing. If anybody knows how they're called, pop them in the comments so I can look for them online. But yeah, the only thing that this is needs washing. Everything is clean, everything is hoovered, and the paint job wise, there is some stuff like, I think this is a scratch here, and I do have a few scratches on the bonnet as well. Not scratches really, but like these little thingies. A few here, a few there, so I need to just touch up with some paint. But in general, the condition, as I mentioned, is very, very nice. So I'm very happy about this. If you're interested in seeing what's going to happen with this car, how we're going to start everything from scratch, please subscribe to the channel and I will take you on a long, long journey how to install A-pillar tweets, dash mids, infinite baffle subwoofer, maybe something in the kicks. We will see how it's going to go, but it's going to be a long journey. It's going to take a long time, especially with the deadening. Like this is a tin can. A total tin can, especially like this one. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of deadener, a lot of time invested, but for this one, I'm gonna try to do this as proper as I can. Alloys are in a really bad shape, but I really don't care. So again, I'm very happy. I'm super excited. I hope you are too. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one.